There are so many times that I look back on and I think I should have known he'd never stay. Part 2, I guess, of 575,000, but I've already posted one of these story times, but this is another one. This was much later on, and I was probably midway through my pregnancy at this point with our second child, and we still had a 2-year-old at home. We had been together for 10 years. It was probably right around the 10-year mark, actually. I was at work one day and I got a text from him saying, when you get home, I've got an idea I'd love to run by you. Nothing that I was like worried about. I didn't think I was going to come home and it was going to be over, because it was an idea he wanted to run by me. So I come home, do all the usual, daughter's home from nursery, dinner, put her to bed, etc. And we sit down and I'm ready to listen to this idea. I was marginally worried that it was going to be something that would negatively affect our family, but I didn't think it was going to be the end of our relationship. He reveals to me that this idea is to release some of the savings that we have, he would say that he had, to buy a van. He doesn't have a manual job. He has an office job at this point, and sort of so do I, but neither of us are manual labourers. He wants to buy a van and turn it into a camper van. I'm just sitting there listening to this idea. I'm like, okay, trying to find a positive. And I thought that it was going to be like, oh, so that we can have some, like family holidays. We can take it around Europe. We could drive around the country with it. But it isn't. It's a small enough van so that, and he uses the words, so that I can release some of the pressure in this house. And that cut me pretty deep, because I didn't feel like there was pressure in the house. I could feel that he was unhappy and that tension was building. But I also felt like he held all of that tension. He was the one that was unhappy, I wasn't. So that the implication was that he was trying to get away from the life that we lived. He was trying to get away from me, our unborn child, and our 2-year-old. And that made me feel incredibly sad. Of course, I just smiled and said, oh, that sounds like a really good idea. And I listened to all of the things that he wanted to do with it that didn't involve me. He could take it and stay nearby. I tried to spin it to make it sound like we could use it as a family. We could take it down to the beach and use it for the 2-year-old to have a nap in, and we could cook out of it. And I was trying to spin it that we could use it as a family, but everything he was suggesting was definitely just for him to use it by himself. Potentially, when our eldest was older, he could take her camping for the night. But ultimately, the initial plan was for him to use it to get away from us. And I went to bed that night feeling incredibly sad. That I remember just thinking, I wish he didn't want to get away from us. I wish that he was just happy with us. But he is clearly so desperate to get away. And what can I do? I'm heavily pregnant, or halfway through a pregnancy. I have a 2-year-old at home. I'm desperately trying to cling